Hi, I'm Mark Schwartz. I'm an enterprise strategist with AWS. I've been thinking a lot about operations and development and DevOps and how it fits into the picture with traditional operations. And one of the things that I've been thinking about, obviously, we have to arrange IT in such a way that it supports the business needs of the enterprise around us. So what's on the minds of the business enterprises these days? And I think what really fundamentally is determining the way that businesses have to think is that the environment that they're in is full of complexity, uncertainty, rapid change. And these are driving the agenda, essentially, for businesses. They find that they have to be able to move quickly, and they have to be in a mode of continuous innovation. They have to be able to do experiments, test the market, try things out, see how they work. What it all comes down to is that they need fast lead times for delivering IT capabilities. So when they have an idea, when they have a business need, how long does it take for the IT organization to produce a capability that meets that need? That's really the question. And in order to meet the needs of the environment, they need for that to be a very short time. The way that you deal with complexity and uncertainty is by responding on the spur of the moment to whatever's happening. So something, let's say in an environment of uncertainty, unexpected things are going to happen all the time, right? That's what we mean by uncertainty. Well, an unexpected thing, it could be good or it could be bad for the company. It's not necessarily bad. If the company knows how to take advantage of it, it becomes an opportunity. If they can't take advantage of it, it might become a hazard. So what makes the difference between those two things, what determines whether it's a hazard or an opportunity, is agility and speed. If they can respond quickly to it and turn it to their advantage, it's an opportunity. Otherwise, potentially a hazard. So in order to be able to respond quickly, development organizations and operations organizations have realized that you can shorten lead time by creating cross-functional teams that go across development and operations and security and testing, all of those skills on a single team. That reduces the handoffs that we traditionally had between development organizations, testing organizations, and operations organizations. By putting all those skills on the same team, you avoid those handoffs, which reduces lead time, and it opens up the possibility that you can take smaller batches of requirements, work in smaller units, and quickly satisfy those requirements, deploy new capabilities to production, and then go back and take the next set of requirements and work on those and just keep doing that. That's important because lean theory, lean manufacturing theory, teaches us that small batch sizes leads to shorter lead times and increased throughput. So by combining forces on a single team and automating a lot of the processes, DevOps teams can deploy very frequently to production on the order of tens, hundreds, thousands of times a day. And they can eliminate handoffs, both of which reduce lead time, which are a benefit to the company. Now, there's a broader context in which these DevOps teams traditionally or typically are operating. The ops part of DevOps doesn't really encompass all of what we usually consider to be IT operations. It includes in the case of DevOps, it includes building a capability, testing it, deploying it into production, operating it there, taking feedback and monitoring it and improving it and making sure it stays operational. And that's sort of a chain of events or steps or things that they need to own. But there are all these other things that it doesn't make sense for the DevOps teams to concern themselves with typically. That would include setting up the basic infrastructure on which they're able to self-provision what they need in order to develop, test, and deploy their capabilities. It includes things like provisioning user access, disaster recovery, operating a NOC, Network Operations Center, all these other things that you don't want to be part of what the DevOps teams do all the time. So there's still a need for operations of some sort, or sometimes it's called a platform and tools team, or a cloud center of excellence, or some other organization that is putting in place the infrastructure and operating it that the DevOps teams work on or with in order to accomplish their fast delivery of capabilities. And an interesting question is, to what extent do these new DevOps practices influence the way that that team works, or maybe vice versa? How do these two things come together? These new ideas that shorten lead times dramatically, and the way that we operate and have operated for decades now, infrastructure and basic IT operations capabilities. And I think there's a lot of interesting potential there if we can find ways to shorten the lead time on those infrastructural and operational capabilities, just the same way that we do on the feature delivery part of things through the DevOps process.